Hey, true believers, England. Oh yeah, the camera's here now. All right, cool. Hey, gonna do another unboxing. The other one was so popular, but I went to this very small Comic-Con. Like literally, it was you walk down this hall, you go through the top, you walk back. There. It was like an A, and it was a little tiny community center for a neighborhood, very small. But as I said yesterday in yesterday's unboxing. I do believe that if you go to one of these megacons, one of the San Diego stuff like that, you're going to see just as many comic book dealers in a show like this than you are in those, because they are so focused on the gaming. They're so focused on the celebrity of it that they forget that, hey, some people are actually there for the comic books. And in this one, there were a lot of dealers with a lot of deals. One guy was selling long boxes full of comics for 40 cents, short boxes for $40, and short boxes full of comics for $25. I took advantage of that, even though it was mostly independent comics. So that's what we're going to be having for the next couple of weeks. Now, I could say for everything else that no, that wasn't what I was going to say.
Yeah, I know that's what I said.
Did your sports team do bad there, Eric?
Never use that tone again.
What?
Did this sports team do bad again? Okay,
I didn't use that. You heard.
We'll kick you off our own channel, and this will become a sports talk.
You heard that, but I didn't say it.
I heard that because you said it.
My Giants lost in 10 to the Pirates.
Oh, look at that. Listen to that. Okay, I'm sorry. I hurt the feelings.
My team AA, 7 shutout innings.
All right. I have no idea what that means, but okay. Anywho, it was a great sale. Got a great deal. And we're right today. I'm looking at the books. I'm doing them as if they were auctions. Yesterday was the $1 and $2 books. This is going to be the 3, the 5s, and the big dogs. And we're going to start off right here. I found this a Special Wizards publication. It's the Dark Book 98. These are when they focused on the villains and such. And yeah, I always like those. Some things Wizard did right. Next up, for those of you who are HErbie Comics fan, this is Richie Rich in his second incarnation. If you believe the rumors, the hype. I don't know. Have you ever fallen into that particular theory that Casper is the second stage of Richie Rich?
That truly troubles Graphic Man.
Really?
Yes. The fact that could be true, especially because you can't understand why a demon from hell would wear a diaper.
Yeah. There you go. Casper's Ghostland. This is issue number 48. Then we have Casper.
How do you explain the appearances when Richie Rich and Casper are in the same?
The magic of comics.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, are we doing this again tomorrow too?
I don't know. Okay, this is going to tonight is going to be the last of the comic show, but I do have the big dogs that I ordered from my usual guy. So I don't know if they're coming in tomorrow or if they're coming in on Thursday.
So I would say if you would be so kind as to wait until, I'm doing the Fossil show tomorrow with Shannon. Yeah, I'll come on afterwards if you can wait.
I'll show him if y'all invite me. I'll show him twice.
I asked him why he extended it to 3 people because he does one-on-ones now.
Mm-hmm.
And he just said, "Well, I had so much fun the week before or 2 weeks ago." But otherwise, I would, I'd say, yeah, sure. But yeah.
Oh, and hello to One Slick in the chat. Here we have Casper the Friendly Ghost, issue 152. Yep. All right, and next up we have issue number 159 of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Let's get it so it's actually fixing.
You really can't travel in the NBA.
Well, they have to go from town to town.
This is my life, folks.
Well, hey, Eric, guess what Trader Joe's has back in stock?
Okay.
The Carolina Gold barbecue potato chips.
That'd be great if I like barbecue potato chips, though.
Oh, no, these are good.
Next up, we have Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, nice.
That is issue 228. And we have Legion of Superheroes issue number 283.
No.
I like that cover, by the way. But then I'm a Wildfire fan, so
Yeah.
he was always one of my favorite. Him and Ultra Boy.
Do you have a pony with that name?
I did not. I did not. Next up, we have Flare issue number 29.
Woo!
Okay, that's from the later run.
Yep.
2005.
Get the wallet out, LK.
I think I might have that one already.
I've got a couple. I was looking all of these up, and there are a couple here that are like, oh my gosh, this is especially if you go over 100, you're dealing in dollars as far as FemForce is concerned. This is issue number 31.
Oh, that's when Flare meets her boyfriend's family.
And this is issue number 15.
Okay, was the previous one a homage cover to the JSA Justice League?
Or Norman Rockwell, but yeah.
To a Norman Rockwell
Evening Post.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Linebacker for the 49ers, 1977.
They called him the Gipper.
There you go.
Yeah, 1977 was way before my time.
All right, there you go. Flare number 28. No matter what anybody says to you, if anybody argues that Norman Rockwell wasn't a linebacker, you fight them. You tag me in that. We have FemForce number 89.
Oh, nice. Proxima.
And we have FemForce. Oh, this is Phase 1 Phasers, issue number 1.
Yep.
With
I have that.
With John Byrne, clone of the moment, Vic Bridges on art.
Yeah.
There you go.
In Phase 1 Phasers is basically a combination X-Men Teen Titans type thing. It's a doctor and his wife. His daughter finds some space alien, and then
there's his boy.
They wind up finding other kids and stuff that are affected, and turn them into a super team, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
did you read that
4-issue miniseries?
Did you recently reread that, or do you have a photographic memory?
No, it was one I came across. Let's just say young LK was infatuated with the one girl because she was hot and cute, and had an interesting power set. And the other thing too was,
is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Oh,
crap.
Here's Night Vale issue number 2.
Oh, nice.
Are we rooting for Indiana, L?
Oh, hell yes.
And we have Night Vale issue number 3.
They're gonna blow this just like they did the game 1 in Milwaukee when they gave up the buzzer.
Yeah.
Oh,
here's Night Vale issue number 4.
Ooh.
And we have Night Vale issue number 7. And hello to MK saying, hey, Lentine, what's up? How's the weather there compared to Florida this time of year? Okay, so the weather is actually pretty good. It was 85 today, which is not bad. It's a nice warm day. That being said, being in a box with no air conditioning is uncomfortable. I don't care who you are. You're stuck in the house with no air conditioning on an 80-degree day. It's uncomfortable.
Did it turn you into a madman?
It did. I don't know your joke on that. Sorry, guys.
In a box.
Madman in a box.
Madman in a box. Okay.
Pixel's his Doctor Who channel.
Gotcha. Next up, we have Americomics issue number 1.
George Perez cover.
So it's in the 80s for you guys?
Yeah. And issue number 3, like I can walk outside, I have no problem. People around me are like, "Oh no, it's so hot." And,
Yeah. By the way, Kat, if you're working the math, in 18 years, I'll be in mine.
And here we have issue number 17 of Hero Alliance.
No, because I saw like back home.
Issue number 15.
Quick bucket.
Oh, go on ahead. Back home. What?
Yeah. So my laptop actually gets the weather back home. So when I turn it back on, it shows the weather back home as 89. Here
I saw Florida was in their 90s, so
yeah. Here it's 55 right now.
There you go. Hero Alliance number 10, and then number 7.
Ella, I'm assuming you have this series, right?
What's that?
And number 7.
You have this series, right?
The Hero Alliance.
I have some issues of it.
All right. Well, you could take a look and figure out which ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna finish up on the phasers. One of the other reasons why I remember it so well is because I had found like issue 1 and issue 3 in some random box somewhere, and it took me years and years to find the other two issues.
Wow. I thought I got pretty lucky on this, especially finding a first issue. It's just as popular as the original series, but here we have The Walking Dead Deluxe. That's issue number 1. And here is issue number 2. I'm trying to keep it centered. And we have issue number 3. Issue number 4. Issue number 5. Issue number 6. And then issue number 12. Issue number 13. Issue number 14. Issue number 19. Number 20. Number 21. Number 25. Number 38. Number 39. And number 40. So a good size of what they've got out now here. The Walking Dead. And right here, these are what do you call it? The estimation is these are going to be in the $3 bin. Next up, we've got from Dark Horse Comics, Ghost in the Shadow.
Oh, that's a good book.
Wow, I filed that tonight.
Oh, cool.
So, LK, if you want to feel better, the Pacers will win game 2 because the Celtics haven't won the first 2 games in a series since 2019. But the bad news is that was against Indiana.
Yeah. Well, and this feels like the game 2s that. Well, actually, no. I mean, because the other game 2s that they've lost, I mean, it's like when Miami won game 2, they hit a ton of threes. And, the Cleveland one, yeah, this one hurts a little bit because it was right there for the taking at the end. And they.
What do you think about this guy's art?
I like it. I don't think there's any middle ground with him, but.
Yeah, I discovered him, Dan Barrington, right?
Yeah.
I discovered him in that miniseries Psycho. I had the first issue yesterday. This is Thrill Killer. It's Batgirl and Robin. That's issue number 1.
Yeah, and it's
But
set in
Because his art has a
1963.
real particular style to it. It only.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's a little bit.
The problem is, I mean, the thing is, it works with certain genres or types of stories. Like for the Thrill Killer, that's a really good. I enjoyed that miniseries. He's also got his own series. Was it Monster? I want to say Monster Squad, but that's not quite right. But it's kind of like a family of like monster creatures, and they, go and investigate weird mysteries and stuff. And that works because it's kind of a horror type setting, and so that painted setting,
it fits.
Works well for it.
Alrighty. And by the way, if you guys are in the chat, you want to talk about something beyond, I'm going to show these off anyway. Give us a conversation if you want. Here we have Panther Haunted Passion. It's from Harris Comics.
John Oates, were you able to find food?
Yeah, a lot of people crying wolf saying there's all this. We have tornado watch, but it's just not a wind, no rain, nothing. Everything's going north like it always does.
Here we have Quantum Leap, issue number 1.
That's
I
from
know.
Down
I
Comics.
want a quantum leap on that girl.
Oh, innovation.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next
no,
up, we have Dracula Vlad the Impaler from Topps Comics by Roy Thomas. And this is issue number 1.
I knew it. He created everything.
He does. He's involved in everything.
I fell down a YouTube hole you would have liked, E, the other day.
Yeah.
I came across somebody had posted an original episode of from the 1980s of MTV Top 20 Countdown. It's like from 86.
Yeah.
And that led me to an episode of Friday Night Videos. If you remember that show back in the day.
Yeah.
And then some guys got posted a series of videos where he puts together like 40 different 80s TV show openings.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Like marking off like I've seen like 95% of these shows.
Here's Firepower, issue number 2.
Nice. Number 2.
Yeah. At the same time, we have reminding me of shows that you can't find on streaming still.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, I found on one of those pirate sites, I found Tales of the Gold Monkey. Here's Evil Ernie, issue number 4. That was a lot of fun.
Because that Riptide, which I loved back in the day.
We were talking about this yesterday. Tubi's the place to go for them. Here's issue number 6 of Evil Ernie and issue number 8. And then we've got from Dark Horse Comics, Terminator, issue number 3.
No Evil Bart.
What? Oh, I get it. Bert, not Bart. Bert. From Charlton Comics, issue number 66 of The Phantom.
I imagine if he's Evil Ernie, he'd probably kill Bert.
No. Yeah. Bort? Who names their kid Bort? Attention.
The Phantom.
You're out of Bort license plates.
Right? Hey, Jay, what's up? Next up from, this was Continuity. Yeah, Continuity Comics. This is issue number 3 of Samarie, Mistress of the Martial Arts.
Yep.
He's currently at my peak viewership for my top 5 tonight. It's been a weird night.
A hot white blonde who is also a martial arts expert.
Yes. Here is issue number 2.
Yeah, I think it had something to do like her family got killed by ninjas or something, and she then got raised by and maybe there was a spirit or
I think it has something to do with
supernatural element to it. I can't remember.
This is issue number 1.
I would venture it has to do with somebody being a horny teenager and liking hot blondes.
Well, there is that because I mean, I did buy an issue of that off a spinner rack at a Woolworths. So
this is the Avengers, issue number 176, and we have issue number 188.
Oh, nice.
Next up, oh, these are not in order.
God, that's weird. The video you posted from last night that you broke down, the first thing you showed was that Avengers. I thought, how's this working?
Oh, one's in a little bit worse condition. So,
oh, I thought you pulled those out as like a preview for tonight.
Nope. That was that was a different copy of the same book. Just one was in, like I said, one's in a little bit better condition than the other. Alrighty. This, by the way, if you've never read it, this is a book to go for. Tomorrow or Saturday when we're at doing the auction. This is by Kazuo Koike and Goseki Kojima, and with an introduction by Mr. Frank Miller. It's called Lone Wolf and Cub. And this is such a fantastic freaking book. That's issue number 2. And we have issue number 5. And there is issue number 10. That's funny. That is VENKMAN. And here is issue number 11.
Boot to the head, Jay.
And we have issue number 12. and issue number 15.
You cannot convince me that Dalton, when he first appeared on the channel, and the mustache looked like Hall Oates or our Oates, John Oates.
We had issue number 17.
Quaker Oats.
No,
And
John
finally, we have Lone Wolf and Cub, issue number 18.
I don't think Dalton's a Quaker.
So that one didn't work.
Not today.
All right.
He's a heartbreaker.
And those were the ones I had slated for the $3. These are the ones for $5. But if I notice while I'm switching out bags and backing boards, if I notice anything, that might change.
Why didn't that work?
What were you doing?
Oh, it's I thought the picture-in-picture would make your screen bigger, but it didn't work.
The camera does that.
No.
That would.
Yeah, if he doesn't want us around here, you can just go full screen by himself. But
Yeah. No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think because it's not sharing. If you had a second camera hooked up, it would work. Possibly.
It's okay. It's no worries. No worries. I'm fine with this. All right. Next up, kids, we've got these in order: 192, 188, and that goes here, and then we have 154, which goes here, and then we have 182 goes here, and then 159 goes here. All right. Cool. Next up, we have Brave and the Bold, and this is issue number 154 with Metamorpho. Yeah, in good condition too. And then we have Brave and the Bold number 159, where he teams up with the Masters of Assassins. And then we have number 169 teaming up with Zatanna.
Oh, hey now.
And this is why. Why do this? I don't know. I guess it's because it's of another Earth. But here we have 182 where he teams up with Robin. But it's on Earth too.
And is that Kate Kane back row?
And then we have no, that would yeah, I guess it would be on that Earth. That would be 188 of Brave and the Bold with Rose and Thorn. And then we have Batman teaming up with Superboy in issue number 192. Next up, we've got Action Comics number 508.
Speaking of Rose and Thorn, has anyone kept up with the latest issue of Rose and Thorn's former husband?
Next up, we have issue number 439 of Action Comics.
And that would be who?
Alan Scott.
Yes.
Oh, that's different Thorn.
I will. I know it came out today, or at least it hit the pirate sites today. So I was going to check it out. Finally finish that piece of crap up. We have issue number 439 of Action Comics, as I just pointed out. And then we have Superman, issue number 376.
Nice.
The story of Supergirl as well. Next up, we have... You were saying?
So what do we think about the rumors that Tim Sheridan rage quit because he too hissy fit?
I've only heard JDA say it, no one else.
Good riddance.
But who cares? One way or another.
If it's true, then that speaks to Tim Sheridan's narcissism, because DC has a year-round Pride Month. So if they didn't promote him the way he wanted, yeah, it really must have been bad.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit it right on the head. I'm pretty sure that Tim Sheridan is a narcissist. So.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have Flair, number 1.
Oh.
If he is...
And we have Flair Annual, number 1.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. If he is a narcissist, Jeremy Adams is the nicest person in the world because they're friends.
They're good friends.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Here is Flair Annual, number 7.
So, okay, wouldn't it have been nice if Mark Beecham had done more work in comics?
Oh, yeah.
What did I call Metamorpho? And Maranya's calling me out, saying his name is...
we call Metamucil on the Geeky Puppet Show.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Who's using... Okay, we got it. Next up is Flair number 6.
No, Maranya. Jay had it right.
Introducing the Tigress. That is a great.
There's Flare number 5.
With Eternity Smith. Yep.
Fem Force number 77.
So which ones don't you have? Okay, so I can bet on them.
Fem Force number 4.
Oh my God.
Here is
Gotta have that one.
Flare number 3.
Wow.
God bless Mark Beecham.
Yeah, that's from the second series.
And here is Fem Force number 52.
Isn't Beecham still doing some cover art?
Here's Fem Force number 34.
I can
And we have Fem
feel it
Force
from here,
number
Maranya.
Fem Force number 91.
Yep.
And
Oh,
Thrill Killer 62. And I don't know, is this a number 1? No, this is a one shot, I believe.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, an Elseworlds one shot.
Our chicken, not stirred.
Yeah, I think that was the follow-up series to the one you showed earlier.
Okay.
Because the first part was a 3-issue miniseries.
All right. What's up, Jackson Ray Kirk? What's going on? Narcissists always attach themselves to nice people, says Jay. That explain my mother-in-law and my wife.
That's why I'm here, to attach yourself to me.
Oy vey. All right.
Freezing.
Evil Ernie, the superhero, excuse me. That's issue number 16 of Evil Ernie.
And Venkman, if you want to know, I can tell you.
Evil Ernie number 1 of 4.
Yeah, I do have Fem Force 31 and Fem Force 91, so you can bet on those.
Next up, we have Sam Marie. Again, that's issue number 8.
Yeah,
and
later.
now
series.
I know I've got these at $5. This is Riptide issue number 1.
Oh, you
She's
know.
got legs.
Yes, she does. And
Yeah.
here's Riptide issue number 2, which I'll probably be. There's only 2 issues, so I'll probably be putting these together.
Did she have feet?
Who cares? Well, let's check.
No. The other one.
The feet are at the bottom.
Just have to look way
Holy
down.
crap! They actually have feet.
You know, it's like he started drawing and he finished the body in the middle of the comedy. He goes, "What the fuck am I gonna do now?" He just decided, "Fuck it."
Now, see, I'm thinking like the opposite. He started drawing the legs, and he kept going higher and higher. It's like, oh crap, I'm running out of space. Okay, let me just draw it. Let me just draw in the rest of her torso.
Either way, equally ridiculous. Dr. Giggles number 1, kids.
Wow.
Zen Intergalactic Ninja number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Fem Force, Big Money. I mean, sorry, Up Close. Fem Force Up Close number 1. Fem Force Up Close number 2. And Fem Force Up Close number 3.
Yeah. So the up close books, think of those as like spotlights. They were
Yes.
Stories to highlight a particular character.
Really, I would have thought headlights.
Next up, we have Glory. Speaking of headlights, Glory and Friends Christmas Special.
Well, headlights wouldn't have been the first thing I noticed on the cover, but
Yeah, I'm in the mood for some baked bread.
This next comic book most definitely pities the fool. It is Mr. T and the T-Force, issue number 1, with the card in the bag.
Oh.
There you go. Next up, we've got Wanted number 1.
Oh, nice.
New Warriors number 1. Of all the amalgams, this is the worst cover. It's JLX. There you go. I just think the Aquaman character looks kind of silly. From PC Comics, Vanity number 1. Cyberforce
Against PC Comics.
Cyberforce trade paperback, the original, the first printing. The Punisher Wolverine Africa Saga trade paperback. and the Punisher, the classic Punisher from the magazines, trade paperback or prestige format, I guess that would be. And finally, a book where I honestly don't know where to put it. This book is washed out. It looks like it was bleached. It's Blue Beetle number 54. Look at that.
Nice. Yeah, it does look like it was in a window for a while.
It really does. I mean, if you let me open it to show you.
It is. I mean, I have that book. It's definitely faded.
Oh, most definitely. You got it. But seriously, you guys have to check out. And I was wondering, is it still a $5 book? Is it a $3 book? A $2 book? I mean, if you'll open it up, hey, look, guys, it's actually got color. You could tell though it's got water damage. It's been taped up it's been taped up. And the story's all there. This is the last page right here. It actually says end on it,
and
but
now the book is called Blue Beetle.
Yes. But dear Lord, these first few pages, look at that. I don't know. So, I mean, this is, that's not even Ted Cord.
What issue number?
54.
Yeah, it's Dan Garrett, right?
Yeah. So, what do you think? 5, 3, 2, 1?
I still probably do 5.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I don't know. In all honesty, there's something a little bit I like about this, but it's still a fucking awesome cover. But I don't know. Also, is the Punisher Wolverine Africa Saga as funny as the Spider-Man, Superman Spider-Man Africa Saga? Unfortunately, not. Nothing is as funny as Superman calling out all of the natives so he could juggle them in order to save their tribe. Yeah. All righty. This is a shorter showing than there was last night, so we'll open the floor to all sorts of conversation. These are what I would call the big dogs. Actually, some of the ones I just showed might actually fit the big dog thing, but these are the ones I would call the big dogs. I don't. There we go. I got to check on this one because I've heard that it's got an audience. Just have to make sure. It's Nottingham, issue number 1. Which one of those books that while we weren't watching, people started getting interest in. The same with this one. For some reason, it's taken off a bit. Not like crazy. It's not $150 book or anything. But it's one of those that might have gone from 1 to 10, that kind of thing. It's Silver Sable number 1. All righty. And next up by Jim Starlin, the first issue in an all-new line of comics from Epic. It is Dreadstar number 1. The first appearance of Tim Drake in Batman Year 3. We've got the...
Oh, hello. Anybody else still there? Venkman?
I'm here. I had a mouthful of popcorn, so I figured he would just go on and on and on.
I'm here eating too, and I figured I'd just watch you guys just talk by yourself. No,
okay.
Responding.
Well, while we're waiting for our fearless leader to return, I was trying to look for that Blue Beetle book and I can't find it.
Well, okay, because you want to. It was, Mysteries of Unexplored World, Unexplained World, something like that. Then it became Son of Vulcan, and then Blue Beetle. If you give me a minute, I'll find it. But hey, did you see where that Suarez from the Phillies won his 9th straight start today?
I'd heard something about that. And
do you know who was the last Philly to win 9 in a row?
Carlton?
No.
Thank you, One Slick, for pointing that out. I'll look it up.
Robin Roberts.
Holy cow. That's
what I said when I saw that.
7 years ago.
I don't know how far it was that it dropped, but here's Silver Surfer number 1. Dreadstar number 1.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to ask you, can you pull up that Nottingham book again?
Yeah. One Slick just said it's the 5th, so it probably doesn't hold. Either that or it's like a rare printing, but
it's the 5th. It's the 5th edition.
Okay. First appearance of Tim Drake.
Back
We
when he was a
have-
good character.
Gotham by Gaslight. No, none of the characters are good nowadays.
You know,
except
I was
for
shocked
Jay-
to learn that Nottingham's only on issue 12.
Okay, I was wrong. It was Unusual Tales, then 50 to 54 is Blue Beetle. That's the one he showed was 54, and that book's well technically in 3 figures.
Okay, so this is a certificate of authenticity, by the way. I want to read this because I think it's funny. Dynamic Forces Inc. has issued this certificate to authenticate this copy of Dynamic Forces Premier Lady Pendragon Prelude #1. As a Dynamic Forces exclusive comic, is one of specially limited series of 15,000 copies. That's a successful comic book today.
Can we bring Dalton in for this?
Why?
Well, if we're going to authenticate something.
Oh,
Look
okay.
ahead.
Yeah, it's issue 3,000 of
Murder's
15.
deep around here.
But
It's
technically,
Lady Pendragon the Prelude, though. So there's,
technically speaking, I look the most like him tonight. I can authenticate that.
Yeah. Well, I believe Lady Pendragon. I believe that's Matt Hawkins. So, and I remember you mentioned Matt Hawkins in Alley Cat, which was a fun book back in the
There you
day. I may or may not have a complete run of Alley Cat.
So what wasn't Hawkins in a tag team with Zack Ryder? Worked for Edge.
They did.
Different.
You know he's got
different Hawkins.
You know he's got kids, man.
Well, we got Robin Robertson, not the news commentator.
No,
He's not as cool as Heath Slater. That guy needs to get more work.
I got kids to feed.
You know, right?
he does.
all righty. Let's see. What was the last one? It was Sam Marie issue #1. This one is in better condition and not going to be part of a miniseries.
Isn't that like a type of blending? Surrey?
And then we have Fem Force issue #2.
Versus Jaws. Joker Jaws.
And we have Fem Force issue #3.
Now they're on the skin game.
Tentacles.
Ooh.
And we have Fem Force issue #61.
These are all written for women, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, right?
There you
Gil
go.
Smoke's taking over.
We have issue #92. And now we're talking big money, kids. By the way, this is polybagged with all the stuff and all the documents in the back and all that kind of stuff.
God, could you imagine if post-Twitter Gail Simone had gotten hold of this property?
I could, but why would I want to? Yeah. So it's got all, it's polybagged with all its paperwork and such. So
Each issue he's selling comes with the Kleenex that's not used.
yes. All righty. And one special bag will be used. All right. So next up, we will have Fem Force #100.
It's Mantra.
Don't get too excited. That lady's probably 50-something now.
What's wrong with that? Next up, and now you know how I've been going cha-ching. We have Fem Force 108.
What the heck?
Yeah, dude, it's just after you get past issue #100, forget about it. Issue 117.
Pablo Romero's drawing that cover.
And Fem Force returns from the ashes. Firebeam, hell hath no fury like a woman burn. That's issue #1.
Actually, it's not. It's a series within a series.
Yeah, it's,
Wait,
okay. Well, it says 1 of 3.
You know,
Oh no, it's 104. You're right. It's issue #104, and it says 1 of 3.
You know, that's a good cover, or at least it's a title for Ash's stream if it returns to YouTube.
There you go.
I don't come here to be questioned.
Next up, you have Good Girl Art Quarterly, issue #7.
I will never question you, Eric. I'll just give you answers.
We have a Warp Graphic issue #2, as a matter of fact, of Elf Quest.
That's it. Yeah, Venkman, he's not listening to us tonight.
I will question that elf though. Whoa, that's not for kids.
There you go. Next up, and we're getting down to the last. We've got the last
Eric.
6 books here.
Did Eric say something?
Nope.
Okay.
what would they call the dude version? Jay, you're skirting, but I like that, by the way.
No,
Yeah.
it would be Brave Force. Come
Thank
on.
you for centering it enough, but yeah, that is actually.
He said Fig Force. It's
Yeah. It's for
Fig
figs.
Force.
Eric, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man? Wait.
What am I, a girl on TikTok?
Okay, Eric, a bear or Kelly Sue DeConnick?
Wait. Are you a?
Well, you know what? And sometimes the bear gets you.
I was about to. Okay, how about this? You're in a woods.
You can reason with a bear.
A bear is trying to kill you over here, and Kelly Sue DeConnick's trying to rescue you over here. Who do you run to?
In that situation, though,
Well, so that's an odd way to pronounce lecture.
Yeah.
You're, with a bear or a man in the woods, are you a cub in that situation? What kind of bear is this?
Alrighty.
I run full on, arms wide into the arms of the bear.
Now let me.
No.
And we'll believe the fact that you're gonna run.
No, LK, you just give him a picnic basket. All he wants is a picnic basket.
He wants a picnic basket. Yes. Yeah, everybody's picking the bear. Alrighty, let me make the thumbnail accurate here. We have next up we have an ACG comic. It's called Spaced Out Herbie.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. That is awesome.
It could appeal to Star Trek fans and Herbie fans.
It will be mine.
Yes.
Oh yes, it will be mine.
Yes, it will be mine.
You may already have it, Zach.
I don't think I have that one.
Well, those are black and white reprints.
There is a gentleman who has a carrot for a head, and it is flaming.
Carrot top.
And he's got his own book. And in issue number 31, he has a guest.
He's also
so we
chairman of
have
the board.
the Flaming Carrot, issue number 31.
Best crossover ever.
What the heck?
So I have got two people really who collect Herbie, but Herbie comes with a good price. So if I could get a copy, I'm going to. So there you go.
So
Flaming
is
Carrot.
Herbie the father of Faith?
But you have.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh my gosh! He just breathed you.
Look at that. Look what Eric pulled out of his bag of holding.
Oh, okay. I got to bring it up. If I'm getting breened, I've got to highlight it. There you go. Flaming Carrot number 31.
Well,
what fucking room are you in where this is just readily available?
I just gotta say this there, Eric.
There you go, man.
If I can't win the auction against Darkness Come because he outbids me, I'll buy yours.
All right. I've heard Dave Stevens is really hot right now. So here's a copy of.
I think he's kind of cold right now.
Yes. The Rocketeer Adventure Magazine number 1.
Back then he was pretty hot. Now he's ice cold, baby.
Yes.
If even that, he might just be worms.
This is an awesome freaking cover. I have always loved this. Next up, we have Superman and Action Comics, issue number 500.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was on an auction site and I thought, okay, yeah, I'll put 5. I could probably charge 10. This fucker went up to $30.
Here's a question. Do you think Supergirl actually, and I heard the title actually helped it, the sales?
Supergirl? I don't know about back then, but I know in the aftermarket right now, Supergirl is money. She is cash in hand.
Unless she's wearing pants, right?
Yeah, unless it's past like the 2000s. Well, no. After the Peter David run, it's a little iffy, but still, even with Rebirth and such like that, she's better sale than Wonder Woman.
I'd say the minute she put on pants is when Supergirl died.
Yeah. Well, she had a pantsuit in the 70s, and if you could find those books, like I said,
those
money.
In those days,
hey,
they would let girls.
Yeah, did you know her adopted sister's gay?
I heard that. What were you saying, Eric?
No, I said, but in those days, they would let, it was like the old Katie Keene. They would let girls submit costumes, and they would use them and credit the creators of the costumes. So none of them were in more than an issue or two.
This book right here, when I was amazed I saw it in a, hey, if you just put it in a box of comics, you can get it kind of thing. But it's truly one of those finds where it's like, holy shit, are you sure? I think I got something good right here. And so yeah, I'm amazed because it's $20, $25 depending on who you're talking to. It is an excellent story. If you don't have it, you should get it. It's worth the 20. What is so funny, by the way, about Truth, Justice, and the American Way?
Nope.
This was in a grab bag bin.
Why is that worth money? Is there something like first? Something or...
No, it's a natural thing. It's everybody loves the story.
So I heard that in the interior book, he's actually sitting down putting his boots on. That's why it's so popular.
Yes, that's it. This is just one of those books that gain value because everybody who has it loves it. You know, it's just one of those things.
After
it's
yeah.
Go ahead.
Probably because the whole Dean Cain thing, it probably reignited people's passion to get that cover.
Yeah.
Well,
Jay is asking you check the printing on that.
Oh, I will. Because even still, say it's a second printing, say it's a third printing. It was in a grab bag box. If this thing doesn't fall apart in my hands.
It's the first appearance of the Elite, including Manchester Black.
Oh, yeah.
So
I forgot about that. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this happened naturally. This isn't because it was in a movie or anything like that. Because
that used to happen, in comics.
Wait, did you just say that Manchester Black's all Elite?
Yes. Well, no, Malachi Black is. But yeah,
yeah, it's second.
What was his name? WWE?
Alistair Black.
Alistair,
yeah.
Oh, by the way, okay, congratulations. Last match was actually good. And
finally, the very last book I have to show off that I found in this beautiful comic book convention where some guy was selling a whole bunch of just fill up the long box, $40. Fill up a short box, $25. There was another box of comics that I got, and it was half off, a lot of 50 centers and such like that I ended up spending 80. So I got 160 books in that. But this one came from the grab bag. It is issue number 6 of I think this is 1941. It's Terry Toon Comics. Issue number 6. It's not in the best condition.
That cat just pushed that pig off the cliff.
30 cents, ladies and gentlemen.
That's an evil black cat comic.
There you go, gang. That's it. Those are books that are going to show up in the auctions coming up. I do have another unboxing this week where I'm going to get some big dogs, war books, so forth and so on. But wow. I mean, that was pretty good. Come on. You got to admit, there's got to be something there that you guys found interesting.
Yeah, I thought the rocky cliff would help tenderize the meat.
Oh no, I was asking. What did you see something like?
I'm trying to. Those Xena books from last night's.
From last night's, nothing tonight, really?
Well, I mean, the Herbie is always great. Okay. Even though those are reprints, I don't have that cover with the reprints. And then Herbie and getting ready to kill a flaming carrot because he doesn't like flaming carrots.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I read some badass Superman books, says Jay.
Okay, does anybody know how the flaming carrot became the flaming carrot?
Because of Herbie.
Let us hear the origin.
It came from reading 10,000 comic books in one sitting.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Jay particularly is looking at the Action Comics 500 and the Truth and Justice.
Oh, you know what would have been a better thing? That comic book with a Herbie floating in the sky. It's nighttime because he's blocking out the sun.
Yes.
Well, did you ever read Flaming Carrot? I know that
I read some. I wasn't reading consistently, like when they were with the Turtles, when he was with the Turtles, stuff like that.
There were a lot of those. That would appeal to the same people that liked Cerebus, and none of those books ever did anything for me. But the guy that ran the comic shop that I went to in the 80s, sold me on that. And I mean, it was, acerbic, irreverent, just downright weird, but man, it was fun.
Yeah. Back in the day,
I think it was published by, Renegade Press or somebody. I can't remember it up. The Herbie one was published by Dark Horse because it went to like 2 or 3 different publishers. But
well, that was a bit when, of course, the 80s had a great independent comic book renaissance. And then in the 90s, especially after Image, everybody was doing their own thing, and you either created the property or you were buying the property. Fish Police bounced around before people realized nobody really liked Fish Police.
By the time it ended up at Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, you say Renaissance, but I don't consider, I consider the 80s really the birth of the independent comics, really, or when they started flourishing. Because before that, some of these you couldn't really call Dell an independent. Hell, they outsold.
Yeah.
I mean, they were probably number 2 behind National for years, if not number 1.
Yeah, they must definitely kick Marvel's ass.
Well, Marvel,
Timely Atlas,
Yeah, I mean, Dell was huge until the early 60s. Then most of their stuff went to Gold Key. Then like Charlton, but they couldn't hang with Marvel and DC by the 70s. But when I think of indies, I think of like Pacific, First, etc. Eclipse, and
yeah, I could see that.
And then God knows, I said there were so many independent. I still, with apologies to modern comic book readers, and there's more good indies than mainstream now. Which is what made the 80s so great. Was Marvel was great, DC was great, indies were great, but the 80s was the decade for indies. I mean, you'd throw Image at me all day long, and you'd be wrong, because Image didn't publish anything as good as a Nexus or a Badger or a
DNA Agents.
Or DNA Agents, honestly.
Yeah, but at least the Image creators know what would happen to the Image characters once they die.
But I will say this though: the folks at Image, for those first couple of years, they were so effing bulletproof that can you imagine how successful that success might have lasted a few more years if it gotten anything out on time. Yeah.
That was the big problem. And you're right. People were like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's going to be better than this and this and this. No. We were blinded. I'm sorry. We were. And I got to admit, I was part of it. I read Youngblood and was like, yeah, it wasn't bad. Oh, bullshit. Yeah. That would be an attitude. That would be an attitude that would change really freaking quick. But when I first read it, I didn't want it to be bad. I didn't want Spawn to be bad. I did actually. By the time I guess it was really quick. Maybe I didn't have a good. Like now that I'm thinking of it, I remember telling people I thought Savage Dragon was good. I thought
and it was Spawn, at the beginning.
I thought Spawn was passable, and I thought Youngblood was bad. I thought Cyberforce was the best of them. Wildcats was okay-ish. What was the other one? The Shadowhawk was pretty decent. But if you look at what I liked reading, Guardians of the Galaxy at the time with Jim Valentino, that was one of my favorite Marvel comics. I dug on that. Spawn or Spider-Man with Todd McFarlane was shit. I thought that right out the freaking gate. It was just such poor. I love Todd's art. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Poor fucking writing.
Sad thing about Image though, and Wildstorm and whatnot, mostly Wildstorm. By the time they hired writers to go with the artists, some of those things. If you ever want to hear somebody wax nostalgic for that era, bring Doc on again sometime, because he owns every Wildstorm. I used to, but but by that time the bloom was so far off the rose that no one bought all these really great Wildstorm books. And when some of the other just dreck sold, in the upper hundreds of,
well,
five,
and
600,000s.
And see, that's the crazy part about this version of Jim Lee now, because when Jim Lee was more or less in charge of that Wildstorm, I mean, he was more or less, I think, the editor-in-chief on that.
What are you doing?
He got great,
what are you drinking there?
writers.
I'm bouncing my arm on my foot, by the way.
It looks like it's pretty close to me. That's why I was wondering what you're doing.
But okay. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with this. But before you say, what did it get him? They didn't sell.
Yeah.
I was thinking about all the Rob Liefeld was popular because he made New Mutants, right? And I'm thinking, no, I mean, no, look, his art was something different. He knows how to. He's very much, and I know people hate this comparison. He's very much like Kirby in the fact that he wants to make the panel look cool and damn the physics. But Kirby could draw plus damn the physics. But I don't think it was Rob Liefeld that made the New Mutants all of a sudden interesting. I think it was Louis Simonson. Now y'all have me confused. But that's who I think really did. But yeah, I get it. It was an artist era. Artists were the rock stars. Yada, yada, yada. Chris Claremont can't write X-Men.
Hey, by the way, Jay, I think I'm going to start trying to amass the Magnus and Solar series from Valiant. So I'm hopping on the Valiant train, kind of.
Yeah. Well, so Eric, let me ask you this for playing the what if question.
Terrible show. Good book, though.
If Image had their S together and Deathmate came out on time, or let's say it was only delayed by, say, a month, does that save Valiant?
Wow, that's a good question. Honestly, I at the time you had Image, Valiant, and then right after that you had the Ultraverse.
Mm-hmm. Dark Horse was in there. I mean,
well, Dark Horse really they did their Comics Greatest World thing right about the time that Marvel had finished fucking up the Ultraverse.
Mm-hmm.
And Valiant's first run was pretty much wrapped up by then. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe, sort of like if the 94 strike doesn't happen, would the Expos still be in Montreal? Maybe not, but they might have lasted a few more years. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I'll say about, that Image thing too is, I mean, especially, my era of, really having money to be able to buy books on my own. It was Image that helped me to discover other indies. I mean, that was, it was Image first, and then, later on, going to the comic book store. Oh, wow, let me see all this other stuff. Oh, wow, here's Heroic. Here's AC with FemForce. Here's Dark Horse stuff. Here's, everything else. And at the same time, too, it also helped spawn a bunch of other, publishers and stuff. I mean, it's interesting to think that, when The Simpsons were, really, at one of its peaks, that rather than do a licensing deal with somebody, they went and created their own imprint.
Smart to do it too.
Yeah, Bongo Comics, and that was successful for a while. And especially when I think it was Steve Vance was kind of running things there. Those early Simpsons comics feel and read like a Simpsons episode. They were really good. I enjoyed the heck out of them, especially
sadly Simpsons episodes don't even feel like Simpsons episodes anymore.
Oh no, I haven't. Yeah, no. The Simpsons ended sometime in the late 90s.
Early mid 2000s. We're different times on that, but everybody gets there. Everybody gets there at a certain point, and if you watch it now, it's like, why are you watching this? What?
Well, you saw that post I made, right? So in that Friday Night Videos episode that I found on YouTube, because I think it was like from was that the one from '86? It was either '84 or '86. It's like, hey, here's UK pop sensation Tracy Ullman, and I was just like, what? I don't recall this at all.
What was the song? The song was actually popular, but I cannot.
They've never heard of us.
They've never heard of us. Yeah, okay. I remember that.
It has her in a supermarket, and it was crazy. I loved watching that episode. I went down so many '80s rabbit holes the last few days. It's crazy.
Back in the day, a lot of shops didn't carry much in the way of indies unless people specifically ordered them and paid in advance for them. Okay, let's bring out the old people here. Start with Eric, obviously. Sorry, Eric. How about it? 3 '80s independent comic book series you would recommend?
Okay, before I do that, because I know I'll forget. I came across a stack of the early '90s Impact books.
Or '90s, yeah. Okay.
And I can't do anything with them because when I was selling them at one of our old stores, I was selling them for $0.25 and I didn't have any bags, so I just put the prices on them. Since at some point we will meet face to face, would you like those just to read?
Yep.
Okay. Because I came real close to tossing them. Because, I mean, I said, as Black Cat was fine to say, I'm old. And I'm not going to get to everything that I want to read again. So, but I'll hang on to those and the other stuff that I have. And yes, Venkman, eventually I will mail that stuff to you. Okay.
What stuff is this again? I forgot.
There's a complete set of American Century. A bunch of stuff that's, was like more like old Venkman, like a lot of Vampirellas and shit like that. And some other stuff that
old Venkman. I'm still young Venkman. I got another year and then I'm 40.
Okay, Graybeard.
Okay.
Hey, at least I have hair on top. Like you.
Okay, keep going. We can't see it yet.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
in the front, Mr. Comover. All
okay.
Right.
John Sable.
John Sable.
Nexus.
All right.
Airboy. I could go on, but I'll go with those 3 for now.
All right.
Out of everything you just named, Airboy's the best.
Okay, RDV. Without naming the same 3, can you name 3 awesome 80s or 90s independent comic books that need to be checked out?
And while you're thinking, not sure I agree with you, but I'm not sure I don't.
80s or indies?
80 indies.
I didn't read a lot of indies in the 80s. All indies are now.
That's why I'm throwing in the 90s. Do you have any of those?
No, because I didn't read 90s indies.
Kickback. How about you, LK?
Unless you call it Mantra, that's about it.
That would count.
That would count.
Yeah, that definitely counts. I mean, I'll exclude like anything that was like Image or Valiant. I mean, I'll say, especially since we saw them on here, definitely FemForce. I'll go Elementals. And then I'll go, and then from the '90s, I'll go with Ruse from CrossGen.
All right. I've shown it. Yes.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
You said 80s and 90s. Wasn't CrossGen early 2000s?
Was it early 2000s?
Sojourn
feels 90s.
I know.
What about?
God damn it, you're right. It was 2001. Mother effer.
What about the Heroes in the Half Shells?
Turtle Power.
That's too easy.
I want to try to keep it, something that you might not know. Calling Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles independent does seem a little. Yeah, I get it. It is, but
there's the Rocketeer books.
It was basically creator-owns that became that popular.
We got Stranger in Paradise in the Mask the Max from Undead Quinn. Now, actually, the Max may be one of the Image titles you could include in this, because while it had its followers, it wasn't big, huge, popular. It was a little bit weird for your average, even Image crowd.
Did you give yours yet?
Oh no, I have not. Sir. We talk about stuff that we showed today. The DN Agents was always one of my favorites. Trouble with Girls.
Oh yeah.
Freaking amazing and a lot of fun comic on that one. What would I recommend to everybody that was an independent comic book that I read? That I mean, Bone is another one. It ran forever.
Badger.
Walking Dead. I'm just kidding.
No, that was 2000s also.
I know.
Yeah. I'm trying to dig into. I'm trying to think of something that has not been mentioned in a long time, but maybe. I mean, I mentioned Lone Wolf and Cub. I showed Lone Wolf and Cub earlier.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
I mean, any of the Image stuff in the 90s. I mean,
Lone Wolf and Cub. Go for that one. Go for the DNA Agents. Go for Trouble with Girls.
Can I do a round two?
No, go on ahead.
Grimjack.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What a great book. Yeah, John Gaunt was. I'm not actually exactly sure what he was, but he went around righting wrongs, and it's funny. I said when the Suicide Squad from 1987 premiered, John Ostrander was the writer, and the title page. They're in an airport, and you hear over the loudspeaker, paging Mr. Gaunt, Mr. John Gaunt, which I don't know how many people got that, but Badger, and hell, I'm going to stay with first again, Whisper.
Afro, that was
all right. Maranya's bringing up Saber, X-Mutants, and Elf Quest. One Slick Dude's bringing up Poison Elves, Mystery Detective, and Pacific Presents, which is Rocketeer was in that one. Let's see. Was Archie good in the 80s? I imagine, sir. Well, yeah, Archie is always kind of good.
It was going from it was kind of becoming vanilla by the 80s. I mean, Moose wasn't beating up anybody anymore.
When did 2000 AD start?
That's the 80s. Yeah, I talk about rabbit holes you could go down. Holy shit. Like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, Judge Dredd. I was wondering if like Judge Dredd is kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if you could call it. He's a franchise all in his own. Same, and some of them just happen to be that way. No. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are their own company. It's like Archie. Archie technically is an independent comic book company, but are you really going to call them Archie?
But I would say there's a huge difference between Ninja Turtles and Judge Dredd. More people collect Ninja Turtles, and the Ninja Turtles are still going.
Yes.
Their own series. Judge Dredd is so niche. You're collecting the old stuff. There really is no new stuff.
Yeah, well, right now I would recommend you only collect the old stuff. They woke Judge Dredd actually let some illegal aliens off because, well, it's the right thing to do. Fuck you, you badass, you horrible writer. That's not Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is you committed the crime.
Okay, I'm gonna say Venkman.
He is the law.
I'm pretty sure that Judge Dredd's in that first series, there are plenty of issues that sold more copies than any Turtles ever dreamt of.
I'm saying right now. I mean, back then.
Yeah. Judge Dredd went the way of the shadow of RoboCop. I mean, yes, that's what I'm liking. What seems like the corner we seem to have turned with some of these properties that have been around for a while and used to have like great followings. I realized like Johnny Quest and Space Ghost and Flash Gordon, those are much older properties.
Oh my gosh!
But they're not, and Dick Tracy. I just named 4 that aren't woke. The relaunches.
There you go. Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy in the Gladstone. I might be cheating because it's a reprint of the 50s. Okay.
It was your top 10, nothing. Your top 10 for the year of music, nothing but greatest hits. Nah.
Right.
Here, I'll throw
okay.
For you from the 80s. Miracle Man.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. First story arc.
Alrighty. That's a
better
good
than
one.
anything. That might be the best thing the 80s produced independently.
One of the books I showed tonight, it was the Psycho. Excellent 3-issue miniseries. A lot of fun. I'll also name Gru, which was a hell of a lot of fun. and Usagi Yojimbo, which to this day is one of the best written comic books of all time.
Your
I have
soggy gym socks?
I have a first issue somewhere, and I have no idea where I put it.
Yeah, well, I think you put it in a box that was addressed to me.
I will check so I can pull it out. But again, that's worth over $100, and I found it in my garage in a quarter box.
Wow,
that I was selling and couldn't get a quarter for it.
I will give you the quarter, sir.
Here's a couple more.
You know what? I'll double it. I'll double it for you.
You are magnanimous. You are awash in the milk of human kindness, sir. Twisted
that
Tales.
is what I strive for. Yes. Okay.
Twisted Tales, Alien Worlds. Eclipse was good for that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh God, how can I forget? E-Man.
Yeah.
Went with that whole run.
You know, I liked E-Man, but I think everyone, I personally, all the other Image tiles I mentioned, or First tiles I mentioned, I liked more. First was just a fantastic company. I mean, there were legitimately 6 or 7 titles. Like, and the shortest run of the bunch was E-Man at 25. Whisper made it almost to 40. Grimjack made it into the 70s. Badger made it to 70. Nexus made it into the 70s. John Sable made it to 56, I think. Then over to Eclipse, Airboy lasted 50 issues. That's right. I said, you had long running, sequential titles that you don't get anymore.
Here's one that you guys, I'm surprised you hadn't mentioned, because I was trying to remember what the one I by this right order, and of course sadly mine didn't come out to 2000, and that was American Century. So there's one before this, one from the 80s all the way up to the late 90s by Howard Chaykin, and no one's
American
mentioned.
Flag.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I eventually I would have gotten to that. I like that. But like I said, American Century was Vertigo, so that's technically DC. So
I remember I think that's one of the books that Skip had sent me, some American Flag stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting. I said it's Black Cat would like it. There were Ruben the Talking Cat.
Was he cool?
Well, he was, but
is he Caribbean cool?
He spits in the face of people.
Let me answer a question here. Austin, I've got 4 number 350. The Secret Origins annual number 3 with Teen Titans, the Daredevil 156, and Indiana Jones number 2. Those are the ones that are held for you.
Yeah, I never read American Flag, but American Century, wow, that's just fun.
And also to answer up, hey, I think I sent your books to you, so I think only the last week's are what I've got right now. I'll check, but I do believe I sent your books to you already.
So I was looking up independent comic books of the 80s. You guys mentioned we mentioned American Flag, Nexus, Grimjack.
I was trying to do it by memory. It's kind of difficult.
So did somebody mention Elementals?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did early on.
Okay, mentioned.
But nobody mentioned Justice Machine.
There's also Love and Rockets.
Wait, did you say Thunder Agents?
Never got into that.
Yeah, I just mentioned Thunder Agents.
Yeah, I don't count that because to me the 60s series was the one that matters. But
so the other ones that there's ZOT, ZOT.
Okay, never really read that. Grendel.
Yes.
And Mage are good too.
Yeah, Mage, Dreadstar.
Joe turned me on to Zot. And it's unique, but and he's also a huge fan of Love and Rockets, which I also didn't get into. But
Gilbert, Jamie, and Mario Hendez.
Oh, they did a book, a miniseries. That's the most disturbing comic I've ever read.
But I guess if you like Grendel, you should like Mage. That's also Wagner.
Dreadstar. I showed it off today. I couldn't think about it.
Jim Starlin. Yeah.
That didn't come to mind. Oh, dude, I remember the Johnny Quest comic. Man, that was badass. That was actually pretty. Alien Legion. That was pretty cool.
Here's Concrete by Paul Chadwick.
Well, yeah, something you showed several issues of, I would put in the conversation, and that's Hero Alliance. It's it's they live in a world where the women shower in stilettos, but they actually told. I mean, it was a good superhero comic. On top of that,
so there's also one I got from you. It's called Cadillac and Dinosaurs.
That you wrote that, don't
you?
Yeah.
Roy Thomas.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Todd McFarlane is.
Oh, Mark Schultz.
Todd McFarlane made his artistic debut in a comic book called Coyote, which was okay.
Read
Was
Fleming.
it a Wild E Coyote?
Yeah.
Okay, what is more disturbing, Man-Eaters or Border Town? Having read and done videos on both of them, and recently I went over my Border Town review to see if it was fit to reprint. I need to re-record it. Border Town is more disturbing. Man-Eaters was a book made out of spite for us, and it actually was not as bad considering its premise than Border Town was. Border Town, its own premise was horrible. But yeah.
Wow. Here's one that you guys didn't mention that is actually he tried to sell on the channel here. I'll give you a hint. It's written by Steve Gerber and drawn by Jack Kirby. It's 1982.
Destroyer Duck.
Yep.
Okay, I thought you made Rhaegar. I thought you gave him a wrench. Because I'm thinking really seriously about timing him out for derailing a really good indie conversation.
Yeah.
With
Man-Eaters
in Border Town. There should be a price to pay for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What comic did I read just recently that reminded me of Man-Eaters, but it was done well? Because it was something similar in terms of it was something something about getting scratched by a cat or something, and
it's called Feral.
Okay, while you're trying to think of that, Venkman, turn your avatar back on and sing it.
You're right. I think that's right. Yeah, I think it was Feral is what reminded me of Man-Eaters.
Oh. And one thing also, we were talking about independent comics of the 80s, and I have shown them off here yesterday. The Kirby titles, the Captain Victory, the Silver Star, so forth. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Here she comes. She's a man-eater.
No one mentioned Star Slayer.
The Battle
of Drones. Yeah. And Rocketeer was pretty decent. So was Grimjack.
Silver Star by Jackson.
Oh, Jackson hit the nail on the head, sir. That is the tip.
That's popular though. I think you don't want popular.
No. That's I was talking about like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a franchise by itself. It's like Archie Comics.
Yeah. No,
that's not what I'm saying. The Tick does not move the needle. It's like Archie is its own company because of Archie Comics. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is its own thing. It doesn't need the Marvels and the DCs. It's as big as the Marvels and the DCs.
Well, the Tick doesn't need the Marvel DC either because it's pretty big.
New England Comics.
You fucking millennials, all right? It's get off the fucking Twitter talk. Actually,
nothing moves the needle because the needle's dead.
Did he freeze? Or did I?
Who? You? Yeah, you probably froze.
No. No. Well, I see a shadow, so I don't think you're frozen. No. So, So, anyways, I did wind up watching Madam Web on Netflix the other day.
We made that mistake too.
No, first off, I will tell you right now, it was better than the Marvels. It's better than Wakanda Forever because I was able to make it all the way through Madam Web, whereas I
Well,
stopped.
everybody
Marvels
got opinions.
Wakanda Forever is so goddamn boring. I couldn't stand it. This movie, it would have been fine. It didn't need to be a Marvel movie. It should have only cost about $20 million to make instead of the rumored $80 to $100 million budget.
There was no need for that. Why was it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It should have been me.
Oh yeah. The thing that breaks
It was
is
not
the
good.
terrible structure of the movie. It was fine up until, oh, I've got to check this out for myself, so I'm going to go to Peru. It's like, well, wait a minute. You're wanted by the New York police, the New Jersey police. They're looking for you. Yes, it's supposedly 2003, but there's no way she's going to be able to hop on a plane with a passport to get to Peru. And the clever thing about it was she was still driving that damn stolen taxi. Just because you take the license plate off a taxi doesn't mean you're not going to be found. Taxis have numbers on them. They would have reported it. It was just. It
was fine right up to the point where the bad guy shot the mom in the very beginning of the movie, because she goes, "Hey, look, I found the spider," and instead of going, "Oh, over there, that's where you found it? Okay, I'm going to go search for another one." He shoots him. It's like dumbest, right out the fucking gate. It's stupid. Then, I had a dream someone was going to kill me. Okay, so just stay away from him. Like, never talk to him. Don't. No, I'm going to put myself in a position where they could kill me.
Yeah,
it's the dumbest fucking premise right from start. Madam Web sucked.
Go along with that, but again, it's what makes that even dumber is once he gets the surveillance and he's able to identify and find the three girls, instead of trying to take them all at once in a very public place, just wait for a moment when each one's by themselves, kill them, make it look like an accident or a random robbery, and nobody's the wiser. But that's the whole thing. Exactly. That's what I talk about in terms of the structure of the movie. Well, the way it should have been done. Well, first off, too, completely
the story sucks. It doesn't matter.
Get rid of all the.
Anywho, that being said,
of Ben Parker and May and all that crap, that's totally unnecessary. That's just key jangling nonsense that they put in to try and sell the movie. Yep. But if it had started out where you had the scene, at the beginning to set it up, and then, we go forward to 2003 and we see Cassie now and she's starting to get these premonitions or whatever. After the one where, her friend gets killed.
Thank you.
What? No, screw you.
You guys are talking about movies I'll never see any of the Black
Panther. No one cares.
Boring. I'll never see the Black whatever it is. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. You want to do a Madam Web discussion? We'll do a whole other video for it.
But the people that made the movie didn't know what they were doing.
That is true. That being said, what do we got? Rhaegar, thank you very much.
Damn straight.
Madam Web is better than Phase 4 MCU. Thank you for the super chat. No. Okay. Not the Phase 4 was the best. It's just
Rhaegar, I don't have to watch Madam Web. I already watched her in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, which was actually Madam Web.
Where she was Madam Web, yeah.
Also, Phase 4 had Guardians 3 and No Way Home, so you can't actually say that.
Nope.
Yep. Okay, anyway, guys, since we have completely derailed the conversation away from independent comics, most of the books you saw tonight are going to be in this coming Saturday's auction, so please join us 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Venk, what do you got going on tomorrow?
Wednesday, nothing.
Okie dokie. Hopefully the books will come in. We'll have one more of these. Otherwise,
Wednesday I'll be watching Mr. Graphic Man because he will be having a special guest on there. A guy who is currently lighting up a heater right now in his avatar. You should be watching that over at Leave at 8 Eastern.
And now that we're about to end, so we can say this name without fear of who being summoned. Back to the indie comics. Did no one mention Ronin and Sin City?
No.
Ronin was pretty. That's a DC comic, but Ronin was awesome. It really was
Frank
a
Miller,
fantastic
Frank Miller.
Yeah.
And now you risk summoning him.
And Sin City was pretty damn good. I'll say that.
It's too
How about
early.
what were you trying to say there?
No, I was chuckling.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
How dare you chuckle? Silence you.
Yeah, I really did like that Ronin story. Even as a kid, it was but I had to read that one over and over to understand it.
Didn't they have Tom Cruise in it? The last Ronin?
No, that was the last one. We're talking about the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, that was pretty good. That's a good call. That being said, all right, kids, thanks for showing up and hanging out. Please.
Ronin was Robert De Niro movie. That's what it was.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out with us. As I said, join the Four Color Fossils tomorrow.
Last Samurai. You're thinking of the last Ronin with, I think it was Keanu Reeves. I want to say Keanu Reeves.
That was 47 Ronin, and that was not even Ronin. What? Yeah, it was 47 Ronin.
I often wonder just about continuing these ending monologues to see how long I could go.
And no one mentioned Yankee Stadium house tenor Ronan Tynan.
Exactly. Or Ronan Reigns. He's really cool.
All right, guys, have a good night. See you later. Bye-bye.